Welcome everyone to episode number 33 of the Let's Discuss Gaming podcast. I am your host Triple J. Joining me is Dr. Games 101.
What's up, guys?
And we actually got a couple things. We actually got, about 10, 11 things to talk about. I found a couple more stories that were happening after I gave you the list on Wednesday. But we'll just get to those stories. Let's just start. And the first one I already told you about. They're making a Popeye game for the Switch. Mm-hmm. And even though they're selling it for $12.99, it looks like an N64 title. The graphics are that bad.
Oh man, I didn't get a chance to see the trailer yet for the Popeye video game, but I'm sure it's nostalgic at the same time. So for us,
they don't even have a trailer. All they have is, but they had like screenshots of this game that's coming out, and the graphics are so bad. It's just like, what's even the point? I mean, think about it. This game is coming out, and the starting price is $12.99.
Mm-hmm.
There's, usually games start at 60 or 70 now, and then they go down in price as time goes on. To start at $12.99 is kind of saying like, yeah, we know the game's a piece of crap.
Well, Popeye is not a popular, watchable series anymore. Like, usually that's too violent, it's too sexist, racist, and homophobic, etc., etc. So they Nintendo's like, we live in an age of cancel culture, an age of censorship beyond belief. We might as well, reduce the price down to the hardcore base fan. Like me, for example, I want to play the Popeye game if I have to, if I really want to, that is. And I think it'll be an interesting experience. See how well they utilize Popeye's movements in the animation from the TV onto the home console.
It's just a weird franchise. I mean, the last Popeye game that I know of was on the original 8-bit Nintendo.
Oh, yeah.
And that game actually wasn't so bad if you like old arcade, games that were one screen, like Donkey Kong and stuff like that, or Joust. If you like those old school Nintendo games, you'd probably like Popeye.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like, what's behind this Popeye comeback? Usually, if they were making a game out of the blue, with an established IP, there'd be like a movie or a TV show or a graphic novel series or a cartoon or something to explain the comeback, to have a tie-in. No one, I don't think anyone younger than us is going to remember Popeye.
Indeed.
And the Nintendo Switch, yes, I know. While kids enjoy it, adults play it too. But I don't see adults running out, or even sitting on their couch, I gotta get that new Popeye game.
I'm excited myself sometimes, but at the same time, no, because let's face it, we're getting too old for Popeye or for any cartoon on a regular basis. So,
yeah, I mean, and this price point also for Life is Strange was $10, I think, but that was a downloadable title. It was a brand new IP. Downloadable games usually are cheaper, but
don't know about this about this situation overall, but specifically, it's good that they decreased the price down to $15 with the tax and all. Think of it as the next Cuphead, but Cuphead is more modernized, for hardcore audiences or for the ones that want challenges in their video games, because based upon what the journalists of today's, they say that it's too hard, Cuphead, and Popeye may be the same thing. I'm sure they're gonna be like saying that with Popeye because it's too challenging, whatever, and it's too sexist, racist, homophobic, bullshit after bullshit. Excuse my language.
Well, those people, the best thing you can do is just not listen to them.
Yes. They're making $50,000, $60,000 or more on average a year on being a journalist for Polygon or Video Game 24/7 or even IGN. Like, where do these guys get all this money? And they're not gamers themselves. They hate games, most likely, especially that. That's a waste of time and money. Give me the title. I could be your man for reviewing stuff and previewing it for about $30,000 a year. That's all I need. Just give me the free game, free supply of Diet Pepsi. I'm good. You know?
Well, my price would be a little more than a free case of Diet Pepsi in a game, but the thing
at $30,000 a year.
I'll tell you. I'd even do it, like, even my full-time job, I was making like 21, 22 grand a year. I'd even sell for that. 15, 20 grand a year. Heck, I'll write articles on video games. Full-time.
Oh, yes.
But back, it's just something like, it's, the thing that just got me was like, it's so out of left field. I mean, it's like if they suddenly made another Flintstones video game. Flintstones was back in its prime during like the 60s.
Oh, yes.
I mean, yeah, okay, they had games on Nintendo in the 80s, but, no one's making a Flintstones game now. I think they're still making movies, if I'm not mistaken.
The last movie we had was the Las Vegas Flintstones.
And how long ago was that?
Like early 2000s, mid-2000s at the latest.
Okay, so yeah, so it's just weird to bring something that far back, and the graphics just look like, even if the game is being released for $12.99, it looks like you're getting a game worth at most $12.99.
Yeah.
So that's how we feel about Popeye. Next, do you watch RGT85 on YouTube?
RGT85. No, I never heard of them until now.
Alright, well, he posted a review of Metroid Dread.
Okay.
Apparently he got a copy of the game. I don't know, I think it was free, maybe he paid for it. But the problem is that, so he got the copy of the game, he played it, he did a review of it, he posted it online, and now Nintendo's coming after him. They're saying the only way you could have done a review and had it up by such and such date that you did is if you got an early copy of the game.
Right.
Now, the date that any content's supposed to be posted by, his review came up a few hours after that cutoff date of where content could be posted. So in that retrospect, he did nothing wrong. He was, it was past the date where stuff could start being leaked online. But Nintendo's still saying you still somehow got an early game. You got your review up before release day, and now they're coming after him. I think that's ridiculous.
And now that you mention it, Triple J, I heard of this. Someone from Review Tech USA reported the matter, saying that it was 2 days too early to record and display the game on publicly. And even though it's only 2 days prior to the release date of Metroid Prime or this Metroid 4 game, whatever you want to call it, it's still considered to be illegal to record before the release date. So 2 days beforehand, there's no excuses. I mean, the law's law. I mean, I wish I was on RGT's side, but he broke the law in some case, and Nintendo. If you don't want to be with Nintendo, that's fine because the way they are very anal about their copyright laws and such. So I would deal with them on a business level like that in a direct creator to business matter.
Okay, I heard that there's a difference between release date and when you can start releasing footage, and I heard like the date that you can start posting anything, pictures, screenshots, whatever, that date, he waited till that date was passed. He waited a few hours past that date and time. But it was before a release date, so if he wasn't supposed to release it on the review until the day the game released, maybe I could see Nintendo if that was the case, but you also, you're saying, well, what about that thing about how early leaks, when they are too early or when they're allowed to be released? I mean, there was a case when I reviewed Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars for Nintendo DS, and this was Take-Two that took down my review. But then again, this was 2010, so the game had been out for over a year.
Right.
And Take-Two still took down my review anyway.
Copyright law?
But I'm just saying...
Claim via YouTube, or this is a big shoot?
This was a copyright strike. This was back in 2010. So it was on YouTube. It was a copyright strike. They didn't even give me a chance to appeal it, or they just immediately took down both parts and said, you got an account strike, don't post it again.
That sucks. That really is. That's fucked up.
Yeah, so it's just, I kind of think of that, it's like, well, that was a different issue. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, other gaming companies like IGN, GameSpot, they usually have their review up on release day.
They're the official caretakers of the matter. They're like the elites of the elites among the gaming community, because they get special privileges for seeing stuff beforehand. Especially days beforehand. So like it's gonna be like a gameplay preview or a gameplay trailer, like 20 minutes long, something of that sort. So IGN's been around for how many decades now? And
GameSpot same thing.
Metacritic as well. They've been around for decades, 2 decades at least. They have that high standard in standardized previewing of the game in a sense. While we creators, depends on who you are referring as the type of creator, like level of creator, like it's gonna be like Review Tech USA type of matter, or us Triple J and Dr. Gates 101 type of matter. Those type of guys. So
yeah, so I mean, I get it. If the review wasn't supposed to be up until release day, because I've seen reviews come out release day of the game.
Yeah.
So I guess like you could look up the game before you headed off to work, and then you could pick up the game on your lunch break or on your way home, if you still wanted it. If you had a pre-order and availability factors didn't play a part. But I just think it's ridiculous. I mean, I just think it's ridiculous, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe our GT85 and anyone else that's not IGN or GameSpot, maybe from now on, if you're doing a review of any early release game, if the game's supposed to come out November 5th, just wait till November 5th, 12:01 a.m. and then put the review up.
Yeah, so you have a scheduled upload. Don't upload it prior to the release date. The thing good is that YouTube has a feature now where you can schedule an upload. So you can schedule.
Yeah, they've had that. They've had that for years.
Yeah, and it's very accurate too. So if you want to upload it within, let's say, a year from now, you can do it.
Right. I don't know what video you'd want to sit on for a year, but
well, if you're about to die and your will can be public as made after your death, like if you have like 6 months left to live, you put it like 6 months, 7 months later, and then a month later, then all of a sudden, Dr. Games left a public will to the people or to his gaming community, whatever, and such, or Triple J, goodness forbid, you pass away at age 85, and
or 35.
35.
It could happen. I'm not saying I hope it does. I'm just saying it could.
And you can schedule that baby like 50 years later or something like that.
But honestly, I don't even think that would hold up in court, because if you make a will, it's got to be like notarized.
Oh yes, but it's also in writing too. Because technically speaking, any video you make on your will is basically considered to be in writing. Technically speaking.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have it notarized, but it's good to have that extra. Well,
I do know. I do know that, like, if you make an original will and you have it notarized, any changes to the will also have to be notarized. Like if you so say you make a will, and then 10 years later something changes or something you wanted split up is no longer available. You can make an addendum, or like not say something is not available. Say you no longer want to give a couple of your descendants anything, specific couple of your descendants anything. You can write them out, but that change also has to be notarized if the original will was notarized.
Okay.
That part I know. So yeah, I guess we'll move on. Next, Nintendo 64 games on the Switch are unplayable.
That bad. Wow.
Their frame rate. Did you ever have like a turbo controller for the Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis?
I see them at a couple of friends, other friends' houses. They'll have like a turbo controller for the Dreamcast or for the Sega Saturn.
Okay, well, the reason I ask is usually on turbo controllers, I've seen this. They have a slow option where if you turn it on, like it's some switch you move or some lever you move. Now, I don't know why anyone would do this. You gotta be nuts in the head to enjoy it. But if you put the slow mode on, like all the way, the game will continue to pause and unpause itself. Just keep going. Pause, unpause, pause, unpause. That's how well these Switch games were playing. These N64 games on Switch. The frame rate was that bad.
It's like 1 frame per second.
Yeah.
I've seen those controllers before. Yeah, they really do make a doozy on the game.
Did you ever play with the slow mode on?
No, never. It would take forever.
Yeah, me neither. I tried it. I tried it once, and I'm like, "This is slow mode. Turn this shit off."
Let's see. We're trying to record something, with the feature.
No, not even. Because keep in mind, the game is pausing and unpausing itself, so like it's you're moving slower than a flip book.
Yes.
So yeah, and like the graphics, like on Mario Kart, were also a huge step back in addition to frame rate.
Yeah.
And this is what Nintendo is charging extra money for.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't just like we said, a $5-10 increase. Oh, Nintendo will get to it eventually to patch out all the problems. No, you want people to pay almost double what they've been paying, and this is the service you're giving them.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, the Sega Genesis games was going to bring in a small few. If people that didn't play Animal Crossing were going to go for this expansion pack, they were going to be interested in Nintendo 64 games. And now the frame rate is just completely makes the games unplayable.
I see.
So I'm glad I don't have a Switch. I'll stick to getting N64 cartridges when I can afford them. Do you plan on getting a Switch anytime soon?
Not anytime soon. Hopefully one day I will.
But the N64 catalog is not a drawing point.
No, because I have a few N64 games in my possession for my N64 system. Even though the system itself is missing the on button, I have to use a key to turn on, and it was broken for a couple of drops of it by mistake. It's so you can still use the damn thing.
Yeah, you could use the thing as long as you got a pair of pliers.
Yes, something like that. I can wait. If I have to, I'll buy a new N64 system for $150 used. No big deal to me.
Yeah.
Because of course I can go for emulation. Yes, the Nintendo Dolphin or the Nintendo Project 64, whatever it's called on the internet for the emulation programs. I can always go for those. Thanks to a friend of mine on Xbox who shared with me the Project 64 website. But
yeah.
But after that, it's like I want the real experience. And that's the controller, that very distinct controller in my hand with the the old school CRT TV I have right here at the bottom of my in my room. Fuck it. I'm gonna go all in. Old school shit. Yeah, that's the old school, and and USB port, yes too. Yes, you can play on the computer too. Okay, smarty pants.
I did. That's probably the one emulator I could get to work is any game I was going to play on Project 64, now that I think about it. Because I have an N64 controller, and there's no way to turn it on. You just plug it in.
Yes.
Like I said, I had to stop using emulators when SCP Toolkit, that program, was no longer supported. That's how I got my PlayStation 3 controllers to turn on when it was connected via USB. But I've never actually tried it with the N64 once that program stopped being supported. So yeah, I played Project 64. It's actually not that bad. And when you play with a controller like that, it's basically feels the same.
Oh yeah.
But also, I got my N64. Unlike Dr. Games 101, I don't need a pair of pliers to turn it on.
Oh, key actually. Like something like this. Because I still have these keys after all these years. Like something like this. This long key, of course, of sorts. So.
That fits.
Click, 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 click.
Oh wow. Well, yeah. I mean. Well, anyway, I got like my controller for the computer. I got maybe 4 or 5 N64 controllers in there.
Likewise.
For the actual N64 itself.
I got a small memory card unit. It's not much, but it can hold about 1 or 2 games of memory.
Yeah, that's the only thing. My memory card, I have like this 4 memory cards in one, but like anytime I try to save anything on it, it's deleted by the next time I play.
That bad, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with that memory card. But the thing is, also, most games saved on the cartridge anyway.
Yes.
There were very few games that used the memory card feature.
Turok 2: The Season of Evil have that feature where you have no choice but to save it on the original memory card.
Yeah, that's true.
And it takes up so much space. Like you can't hold not even 2 games after that.
Mario Kart 64 took almost the whole memory card by itself.
Damn, it's crazy.
It was like the memory card has like 123 blocks or whatever. And Mario Kart 64 would take 121 of them.
Crazy. Those days were something, all right, because you kids are lucky right now, because when right now you're 10, 12, 14, 16 years old now, you have all the memories in the world on inside, if not on the external hard drive of 2 terabytes. We have to stick with fucking like megabytes.
Maybe back then, yeah.
Small. It was that small back then. Hell, even on the thumb drives, I still have.
They didn't even call it megabytes then. They called it blocks. What are blocks?
I got this small. Here's how this technology has proceeded. This is a 16 gigabyte thumb drive right here in my hands. 16 gigabytes. This is comparison to 64 megabytes back in the 1990s for those thumb drives and stuff. For about $30, $40, if I recall correctly. I couldn't even get my hands on them because it was that expensive. Now I have money at my disposal, or something of that sort, and buy a very cheap one for about $10 on Amazon. It's pretty cool. It's very good.
Yeah. So, I definitely appreciate the way it is now. I like the way PlayStation did their memory cards. And like I said, it was weird because N64, a lot of the early games used the memory card, but like when you got into like a year or 2 after the system had been out, like Revenge, WrestleMania 2000, No Mercy, you didn't need the memory card anymore.
Yeah.
They kind of like phased out the memory card as the system went along.
Mm-hmm. And it built
anyway,
itself.
Yeah. So anyway, like I said, maybe I'll go after getting some of the games in 2022 that I want to play, Like, I mean, I only got Wave Race in there. But maybe I'll go get some other N64 games that I want to play. I don't really know of that many, to be honest. But yeah, actually, now that I think about it, I don't even know any N64 games that I would play normally.
Conker's Bad Fur Day, by any chance? I want to get that. I want to get my copy. I'll get a copy of that on the N64.
What copy? What game were you talking about?
The original Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Is it? Yeah. Well, we got Conker Reloaded. Isn't that the same thing?
No, that's like a shooter game.
Oh, I thought Conker Reloaded was just a graphics upgrade of Conker's Bad Fur Day.
They had one for the Nintendo GameCube last time I checked.
Okay.
But that one got censored. Because you can't say... They'll say shit anymore. They say, like, poo. Or the Great Mighty Poo. Or whatever that scene is in that game.
Okay. Yeah, Conker's Bad Fur Day, you're going to pay at least $70 for that game if...
100 depends if you want to get a decent copy. A decent condition copy.
Yeah, so, I mean, maybe I would get one of the wrestling one of the WWF titles.
I got WrestleMania, No Mercy, and WCW Monday Night. Whatever it's called. Not Monday Nitro, but the WCW versus NWO.
Well, Royal Revenge.
It's N64 had, like, Goldberg, Raven, Booker
Okay,
T.
that's Revenge.
Yeah, Revenge, yeah. All 4 of those games on N64. So if I really want to, I could just dig them up somewhere. They're in my pile of games and books and papers I have here, and I have my rest of my other games right here underneath my TV. So I'm good to go.
Yeah. So okay. So yeah. So like I said, that would probably be No Mercy would probably be the one game I'd go after. You know, WWE games nowadays.
I got 2 copies of No Mercy. Just in case something happens.
That'd probably be one game I'd get. Like, I wouldn't get Super Mario 64 because I've played that so many times. I never beat it. But
plus anyone can have it right now by this time. So I'm okay on that part. I got a 64 Super Mario 64 myself too, but not sure where it is.
To me, that game is just so played out. Because I played it so many times over the years.
I never beat that game, so...
I never beat it either. I always started from the beginning, because they didn't save... You know, you could stop playing with like 30 lives, you save your game, then you come back, you got 5 lives. It's like, what happened to all my lives that I was building up?
If I recall correctly, for the Mario 64 game, after the second time I beat Bowser, I got lost on how to pass all the levels. Like there was like certain ways to, it was like a puzzle of some sort or a procedure of some sort I had to do in some of the levels in order to get more stars. I didn't know what to do after a few hours.
Well, every game I know had 6 stars. First 6 stars, they had every level had 1 star where you got 8 red coins.
Mm-hmm.
There was another way to get a star, which was get 100 coins in a level.
Right.
Once you got 100 coins, a star would appear, like right near where you are.
Interesting.
So you could get star, and I think that was for every level. I know the beginning levels, they didn't even advertise that fact. Just you got 100 coins, boom, a star appears right there.
That's like the excuse me. That was like pretty much the easiest but long way to do so.
Yeah. And someone told me in elementary school that when you beat Bowser the 3rd time, he turned into a star.
Wow.
Okay. But so I guess like 15 times 7. I don't want to do that math right now. That's 105. If Bowser turned into a star, that's 106. There's still 14 stars I'm not thinking of.
There's secret stars. Last time I checked, that's secret, but it's very hard to get if you don't know what you're doing. If you have no strategy guide book, if there's no internet in your house, good luck trying to do everything on your own to get all 125 stars or 130 stars. But if there's 125 stars altogether in the game, there's supposed to be one extra one you can get. I'm not sure how to get that one though. I forgot about
I heard there was 120 because after you got all 120 stars, the cannon outside the castle opened up. You could use the cannon, launch yourself onto the roof of the castle, and you would find Yoshi there.
Really? Oh.
And Yoshi would give you a whole bunch of lives when you talk to him. And something also I heard, maybe this is another secret star. After you beat the game and you got all the stars, all 120 of them, I heard if you faced the final Bowser again, the first time you faced him, the level was called Bowser in the Sky. I heard that if you faced him again once you got 120 stars, the level was called Bowser X. I never got 120 stars, so I can't be sure. I know Yoshi. I've seen a friend find Yoshi. That I know that's true, but I don't know if Bowser X really exists or if someone was pulling my leg.
Right. Speaking of which, this is before all the speed runs started to become mainstream. But back in the 2000s, as of 2006, there was this one video gamer online. I'm not sure what was the website. He beat Mario 64 in under 20 minutes.
Wow.
And this is before all the speed runs. Now the speed runs like what, 5 minutes, 10 minutes now. It was crazy. It was like I don't know how these guys are breaking these boundaries, but I'm hearing that gamers are more in tune and know what they're doing with open up new secrets of the game than the developers that made the damn game. It's that weird. It's like how these guys know so much about the game, knowing that they're not developers, they're not programmers, engineers of the game themselves. You know?
Right, and I mean, also, it's funny. Or maybe they're playing with Game Shark. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know if. Did you ever unlock all the time-activated cheats in GoldenEye?
No.
Okay, I spent a lot of my elementary days doing that, and like the ones that were too hard to do normally, I just did with Game Shark.
Nice. I saw like Game Shark for the PS1 and PS2.
I didn't even know there was Game Shark for PlayStation consoles until recently.
Yeah, it's a disc.
But like, for example, Facility, you had to beat it on 00 Agent in 1 minute 20 seconds to get invincibility. I just put on my Game Shark, put on the walk through doors cheat. There were certain doors you could skip because you didn't need the key cards.
Nice.
Wow. So that, and also I had fast Bond on, so Bond would walk faster than normal.
Oh, okay. So because I have a copy of GoldenEye 64 somewhere in my room somewhere, and I played it, and I think I beat in the last level. It took me several times to beat the last level, but I finally did it. It was a satellite, pretty much a satellite level.
Oh, there's supposed to be there's 2 bonus levels after this called Aztec, where you meet Jaws. He's like 8 feet tall.
Yeah, I remember the movie. Yeah. And
Egyptian, where you have to kill the zombie Baron Samedi.
Okay.
But they say the golden gun is the only weapon that can kill him.
Oh, like the movie, the man with the golden gun.
So you go through these temples looking for a golden gun. The first 2 times you come across Baron Samedi, you don't have it, so you just shoot him. He disappears and laughs. Then the 3rd time, you should have found the golden gun by then. You shoot him, and he's dead.
Interesting.
I actually thought, when I played the game, I actually thought, and saw the movie for the first time, I actually thought Aztec and Egyptian were straight from the game, just like the rest of the levels.
No.
No, after Cradle, they land in the jungle, Bond and a girl kiss, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. GoldenEye, the movie was pretty good. It lasted for 2 hours and 10 minutes long at the most, 20 minutes at the most. And I only can remember parts of where they were in the depository with the Russian lady and Bond. and they also on the tank. Bond used to take to track down the Russian soldier or the Russian officer and the hot Russian chick and shit. So
Yeah.
pretty cool. That was a good movie. Bond was like moving the debris out of the way. He's like straight up his tie and starts driving the tank again. Like what the hell? He's a badass. But now we got this SJW Black Lady Bond 007 No Time to Die.
that no one's going to pay attention to. The movie's going to bomb, and people are going to go, "Why did it fail?"
Heels versus Babyface. He actually said that they were bombing the No Time to Die, if I recall correctly. That is basically it had like 80 million at the box office in its opening weekend last 2-3 weeks ago, and after that they made about maybe at most $250 million as of this last week or two. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we expect it to be $1 billion worldwide, but it's not. But I'm going to watch it. It's still in theaters as we speak, last time I checked. And I'm going to try to see when I get my extra money for my tuition back pay. So.
Well, I'm not going to waste any money on that one. But GoldenEye 007 is one of my favorite Bond movies. I've seen a couple of them. Everyone doesn't like Pierce Brosnan as James Bond. Even my mom didn't like that choice. I thought he did pretty good.
Oh, very good. Yeah, he's good. He's a good actor. Pierce Brosnan for 4 or 5 Bond movies. I wish he did it for 10, but because Sean Connery had the most record Bond movies. There's about 10 of them at most. So
wow.
Yes.
Daniel Craig, who was the former James Bond, or is the former James Bond, I think he only did 5.
Yeah. Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, Spectre, No Time to Die.
Yeah.
And also maybe something else. One of those special segments from the United Kingdom. Because during the 2012 Olympics, I hope you saw the 2012 Olympics ceremony.
No, I didn't.
The open ceremony, they had Skyfall that year. And Queen Elizabeth gave some sort of special ceremony with the James Bond character of Daniel Craig, and it was like, wow, it was amazing. Like that could be included in the Bond lore in a sense. If you want to make it that, it's one of those legitimate sources. You want to put it that way into the lore of James Bond. That would be nice to have.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, to get back, we were talking about Nintendo 64 on the Switch. We veered off topic like we usually do. So Nintendo 64, if I get the itch to play any N64 games, I'm just gonna, my N64 is there, I'll just brush off the dust and play the actual games on cartridge itself. It's just a shame that like a lot of the first party games are expensive, like Mario Party. Like the Mario Party games, there's 3 of them on 64, all expensive. All over like $40.
$500 if you want to get a brand new for the original first Mario Party, I bet.
Well, I wouldn't want to get it brand new because when you open it, it's no longer brand new anymore.
I know.
Yeah, but like when I got Mario Party 3, it was loose. I got it for like $40. I kind of wish I hadn't sold it, but like I had no one wanted to play with me, so it was kind of like, we're just sitting here. Anyway, next, Nintendo Switch are slowing down production due to chip shortage. Basically, Nintendo Switches are not going to be coming out, are not going to be produced as much as they were because of the chip shortage, which I think we all can understand because the chip shortage is affecting everyone.
Yes, indeed. The PS5, even outside of games, cars, cell phone batteries, even TVs, smart TVs and such, though, they all need these chips of sorts.
Yeah. Yep.
Because this TV still lasted for 5+ years now because I can't afford to buy a brand spanking new model TV. You have to stick with the old school flat screen smart TVs from the 2016 2017 if you want to save money and also spend under $200 for your TV. So
Yeah, my TV's from 2015, still works great, but that cost me like 250, and I was on unemployment at the time.
and that TV, if it's still the same TV that we played on the last time I was there at your house in here Valley Stream, it was
Yeah.
like like you said, $200, $250. That's pretty cheap for that TV.
Yeah.
35 inches, 25 inches it is, right?
Some like that, yeah, somewhere 20, 30 inches.
That's good for that amount of money.
Yeah.
I wish I had the space for it, but I don't.
They must have had a sale going on. I remember I got it from Best Buy at the time.
Do you know when was this? Like what part of the year?
It was the beginning of 2015.
It must have been one of those like the Christmas after sales.
Yeah.
Try to clearance sales to make sure that they it's because January is all about the month of me. In my perspective, that's my trend in any gaming or any form of business out there after Christmas. That's why I like to call it during the month of January. So
Yeah, that's why GameStop has so many sales the day after Christmas.
yes,
December 26th to December 31st. Buy 3 used items, get 3 used items free.
damn. GameStop knows what they do with it at the end of the year. That's for certain.
Well, these only occur to pre-owned items.
Still, it's still worth it
Yeah,
because
that's how I got so many. That's how I got so many Xbox One games so early, because I bought a headset and 5 games,
Yeah,
and I only had to pay for like 3 of them.
nice. I remember buying Modern Warfare 3 Call of Duty for about $5 at GameStop, and it was worth it. Something like that.
Do you remember when this was?
Back in 2015 or 2014, give or take.
And this was the 3rd one.
Modern Warfare 3 Call of Duty, yeah. It was well worth it. Problem though is that now I can't play multiplayer because not only no one's not playing that game anymore, but also someone hacked into my Call of Duty account and messed up my ranking system for that game. I can still play Modern Warfare 2019, Infinite Warfare, those other games, yes, because those were anti-cheat, anti-hackable. But the ones from like prior to 2015, 14, 13, like before Advanced Warfare, those are hackable Call of Duty games. Literally, you hack them for a remote distance.
You can still play the campaign. I suggest playing the campaign, at least the
yeah.
Modern Warfare ones.
I recorded it. I recorded a gameplay of it earlier last month.
Okay.
It's on my YouTube channel, Dr. Gates 101 Gaming Channel.
Yeah, so if you never played it, I don't know about Modern Warfare 3. I hadn't played it all the way through. But Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 1 campaigns, definitely worth checking out.
Right.
I'm the weird guy. I'm the one who always gives the campaign a chance.
Oh yes, definitely. Campaign. I go for Call of Duty's multiplayer sometimes than the campaign because it's very actionable. It's like heavy, non-stop shooting, explosions, C-130s and F-16s. You name it. It's a crazy battlefield. But when it comes to Halo, I mean, I go for the story mainly, and also
Really?
the campaign. So.
I figured it'd be the other way around. Call of Duty, you want the story. Halo is all the shooting and...
Call of Duty is all about the modern day shooting, modern day warfare.
Okay. Well, anyway, like I said, if you never play, I can't vouch for every story. I can't vouch for Call of Duty Ghost. But like, if you haven't played the story, if you haven't played the story in Modern Warfare 2, I can speak, or the first Black Ops, they're definitely worth a try.
Ghost is alright to play the multiplayer. I haven't got a chance to play campaign though. I heard the campaign was like, because it was a continuation after Modern Warfare 3. I was told by some gamers.
Well, also, this is when Call of Duty was thinking of getting rid of campaigns altogether. That I heard, like, the Ghost campaign is so short compared to other campaigns
I see.
because they wanted to focus on multiplayer.
Right.
So, anyway, this is a new story. Yang Yer first reported on it. He said Battlefield 2042 runs at less than 30 frames per second in their trailer. They released a new the Battlefield 2042 is coming out in a couple weeks. They released a trailer, and the frame rate was dropping during their own trailer.
I seen the gameplay trailer. I was like, what am I watching? Is this Xbox 360 years? Am I living through Xbox 360 2005 year?
Yeah, did we go back in time?
Yeah, is there a time paradox in the matter?
Hey, I'll go back to 2009 if we are back in time, but I don't think I'm that lucky. Yeah, so Battlefield 2042, and I like the Battlefield games. I played a couple of them. But this one, I mean, when the frames are dropping during their own trailer, you know the game's not going to be running up like it should.
No 60 frames per second, no native 4K, no ray tracing, none of that sort of bad.
Yeah, and keep in mind that when they do the trailer, they're running it like on the best hardware possible. So if you don't have the best hardware, say you're just your 3-year-old computer, and you're going to get Battlefield 2042 for the computer, you're going to have even worse time than the people who recorded the trailer.
Hell, even Apex Legends, I have a hard time running on my $500 PC because it's like an iCore 3, but the Apex Legends is supposed to be about iCore 6 or 7. That's how it's like you gotta have the best PC ever just to play Apex Legends. So imagine games like Battlefield 2042. Oh sure, on the beta version of 2042 of Battlefield, that worked okay on the Xbox One here. I played last week or two. But I don't. The Battlefield franchise, it's not my forte and not my cup of tea. But I still play with friends, like if you and I teamed up, whatever. But overall, it was like the experience was so limited. Like there was slow frame rates, glitches, skipping and freezes. Had to restart the console every few hours.
Yeah, so I mean, I like the Battlefield campaign. I think Battlefield 1, Battlefield Bad Company made me want to go to sleep after a half hour. I was falling asleep while trying to record footage for when I did quick peek videos back then.
That's how you sleep right there, my friend.
I was like this.
Snoring.
Not snoring, no, but like I could. But it's like I was falling asleep. I was falling asleep holding the controller, and I knew I was gonna just. I knew, and the thing is, I was on camera, so buy this game, and the gameplay videos.
That happened to me with Halo 5 the game campaign. When I played as Master Chief, finally, after 2 or 3 levels, I was like, okay, I'm going to record my gameplay back in 2015 October or November or something like that. I was about to attend college, whatever, the following year in January 2016. So I was going to have to record this before the matter. All of a sudden, I'm recording it, and you hear me snore on camera after a few minutes. I was like... Unfortunately, I don't have my files anymore of that particular moment. It was all deleted. It was all deleted by a copyright strike. So.
Yeah, so I mean, but I was playing Battlefield Bad Company because I did 30-minute videos of playing the game if I had the game in my store, as long as it wasn't brand new. And I was falling asleep playing it. I'm like, yeah, so that's. I don't have that video though. That video is also long gone. So anyway, next. So yeah, Battlefield 2042. It's I also, with the game coming out in a couple weeks, I don't think they have time to fix everything. Nope. I think this is going to be a broken day one release.
I'm going to try to play catch up after a few months.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah, so if anyone was thinking of getting Battlefield 2042, I would wait till reviews come out first.
Or wait until Black Friday the following year.
Right.
Following year will be like $5 for the game. $5. And I'll be like, yes, I'll buy it.
And some people will be like, no, it's not even where the disc gets printed on. Next, speaking of games that that I do like a lot, have you played any of the South Park games on Xbox 360 or Xbox One?
I have a free copy of The Stick of Truth back in 2015. The games were gold, but
2014. Yeah,
but I never got a chance to play it after all these years. Not yet.
Okay, well, what happened is South Park: The Stick of Truth came out. First off, let's go back to the N64 days. South Park had 3 games: South Park, Chef's Love Shack, and some racing game.
Okay.
They all 3 were quite terrible and never need to be spoken of again. Then we got reports in 2013 that a new South Park game was being created. But this was going to have a role-playing approach where you're the new kid in South Park, and it was South Park: The Stick of Truth that came out in 2014 for like 360, PS3, and then they made another one a couple years later called South Park: The Fractured Butthole in 2016. That was for like Xbox One, PS4. Now they're making a third game, and they haven't announced the title. They said South Park: The Stick of Truth. The story was really the best part in the first game. The Fractured Butthole had the best gameplay, which was the second game. But the thing is about the third game, Ubisoft, which made the last 2 games, there's no involvement from them in this game as of right now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. What happened is Ubisoft made The Stick of Truth, and then a different studio made South Park: The Fractured Butthole, but that studio was owned by Ubisoft. So, someone working under Ubisoft working on the sequel. But there's no, so far, in this game, there's no title for it yet. We don't know what the storyline's going to be. But it looks like Ubisoft has nothing to do with this third title.
Let's almost like with Ninja Theory, like with that Devil May Cry reboot.
What?
I said, let's hope it's not going to be like the Ninja Theory game developer of them doing with Devil May Cry DMC, the reboot of Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
That was a mess of itself at first, but it was still a good game to play. Had a lot of foul language and shit, but this should definitely have a lot more foul language, a lot better gameplay. But at this rate, just Ubisoft is not involved anymore. Now, hopefully, they'll probably bring in, say, I don't know, Yuki Games, whatever it's called, or Atlas for the story.
Yeah. Well, the Fractured Butthole, it was funny. Everybody had like a superhero persona. Cartman had he called himself like the Raccoon or Coon, but he had like Wolverine powers. Like he had Wolverine claws. Yeah. South Park: The Stick of Truth took place like in medieval times. Cartman was a wizard in that game. Kenny was a princess for some reason.
That was some weird shit with the Japanese in that boardroom in that South Park episode on TV. That was very cringy. Like they would say, "Oh, Kitty, that's Kitty. Oh, Kitty, Mihoida, yoi yoi."
Yeah. So, anyway, I've played the second game. I'm in the process of playing the first game now. I did a Let's Play on BitChute, I think sometime last night. So, I'm interested in the third game. I just wonder who's going to be behind it. Because if they give it to someone like EA or somebody...
Yeah, oh my god. That's going to screw everything up.
We'd be better off. We'd be better off searching for the N64 title of South Park.
EA Games. Challenge anything. 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 Really, you're gonna fuck it up. Excuse me. That's my dark side of seeing EA.
Do you have any ADHD issues we don't know about?
Nope. Well, I am schizoaffective in writing, that is, so.
Okay.
So I go crazy at times without medication, which that has been about. I missed medication just now. Darn.
Wonderful.
I'll take it later, no problem.
Yeah, just make sure you stay on top of that. We got some good news from Sony. The PlayStation 4 CMOS battery problem has been fixed. Apparently, they released a patch where when the CMOS battery died on PlayStation 4, you couldn't play any digital or physical games. Even if you had the disc, it wouldn't start up.
That sucks.
The CMOS battery, but PlayStation 4 released a patch where now you can play physical and digital games even after the CMOS battery does run out.
That's good.
Yeah, so any other thoughts? At least they're fixing it. Did you ever hear that there being a CMOS battery problem with the PlayStation 3?
Yes, because by the time when the servers are shut down on PS3, PSP, PS Vita, all those four systems, they will shut down servers, and that will shut down after a while, that is, the CMOS battery will shut down because there's no relay information of the CMOS battery. So it's kind of like charging the battery while playing the game, while the servers are on, type of battery. But once until it's off, after a while. It's like that with the Game Boy games, like the Pokemon Red I had. The batteries got damaged so much over weeks of playing it straight. Like, I'll play like 5 hours here, 3 hours there, and a year later, the battery is so damaged that they can't save properly anymore because of the CMOS battery inside the cartridge. So I was like, I was trying to tell that to my friend told me that, and I was like, really? That's a possibility? And he said, yeah, it might be. So I had to wait years later to buy a new Pokemon game because I couldn't get it through my family, so it was that expensive at the time.
Yeah, from what I heard, though, the CMOS battery problem on PlayStation 3 only affects digital games. Mm-hmm. So I think if you have a physical game, it'll be fine.
Okay.
Which, if that's the case, I got a couple digital games that I'll lose access to. I'll lose access to Press Your Luck and Dead Nation.
There's even like distinct games I never heard of that were on these systems with the CMOS battery and the network itself. So I want to really get my hands on the PS3, and thank goodness one of my Xbox friends, his name is called Mr. X. He's going to give me a system in the mail sometime this month. So until he gets the power cord for me, I'll play PS3 with the Metal Gear Solid and other games, and look it up on the PS Network and see what's up with the matter. So.
Well, I heard that didn't they shut down the PlayStation? They shut down the PlayStation Store, from what I remember.
I thought they prolonged it. Did they prolong the?
They prolonged it till October.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know how you'll be able to get digital games, but like any physical game, I imagine would still work fine.
Oh yeah, it's almost like get the God of War remastered trilogy for the PS3. Last of Us. If I want to get the original Last of Us, I have the Last of Us for the PS4 remastered. So
Okay.
I bought some of these things just in case if I can't afford them right later on. So let's say 20 years from now, the Last of Us remaster is like $500, but I have a copy of it, brand new. I'd be like, I'm gonna sell that baby for about more than that. Get an original copy of The Last of Us, and also got myself some chips and some beer for the extra 150, $300.
Yeah,
Like
you're the same guy who bought Metal Gear Solid 4, brand new, still sealed, for like $30 in 2021.
Yes. Yes, 2021.
You bought something that was like a PlayStation 3 launch title, brand new. I told you, just get the complete game that's $5. He goes for the $30 still sealed title.
You never know. It's an even playing field. I can have a goddamn good time understanding the Metal Gear Solid 4 lore, or I can get it for about several $100s and still be able to play the lore, even at a better experience on a remastered or whatever years later the remaster of Metal Gear Solid 4 is, you know.
But why so much for a sealed title?
To brag about it, that's one of the reasons. Like Karate.
Hey, I got Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare for Xbox 360 sealed. You want it?
Red Dead Redemption sealed, really?
Undead Nightmare.
Oh, Undead Nightmare. Maybe I'll look at the trailer first.
It's Red Dead Redemption meets The Walking Dead.
Oh, okay. Because
or Night of the Living Dead, really.
Because there's this TV show, anime actually called Hunter x Hunter, and Kurapika, one of the main characters, and you see, I believe in between episode 40 and episode 55, he said that the reason why collectors buy what they buy is because of bragging rights, because of value, and because of the fact that they can sustain a living on it. You know, something of that sort.
Yeah.
It's like the top reasons. And I'm not the kind of collector. So.
Well, it's the same reason people buy stocks. You know, you buy when it's low, you try to sell when it's high.
Yes. Kind of like gambling.
Thing is, some people see the stock blow up sky high, and they're like, "Oh no, I'm gonna hold on to that."
No, they can want to sell that baby, like the GameStop stocks. Now, if we were smart people before Robinhood or before, if Cash App started their stock market fiasco, whatever, back in December 2020, I would definitely bought at least, like, I would say about $150, $300 worth of stocks by February 2021. And by then, I would have sold it and I would have gotten about double of that.
Yeah, stay away from WWE stock. I think that's about to take a sharp fall.
That GameStop made a big difference in creating a publicity for themselves, and they didn't do shit with the matter.
Yeah.
It was just a group of guys in a Reddit posting showing a proposal to other gamers and other stock people who are in the stock market, saying, "Hey, let's buy more GameStop stock, call it GameStonks." And then within days to weeks, it's like $300, $400, $500 a stock or share. Excuse me. Like, wow.
Well, we should have done like 10 years ago. We should have invested in
Bitcoin,
cryptocurrency. Bitcoin, I think it is.
Yep, Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's what wasn't sure. For some reason, I wasn't sure if that was the name of it. We should have invested that like 10 years ago. We'd be millionaires by now.
If all I did spend so much money on those video games, right?
But at least you got something nice on your wall to look at.
Yeah, I got the Ruby poster, I got the Drawn Together poster, I got the Halo 3 poster. Got the Halo 3 poster, right? Not this one. I have a bigger one. That's going to be worth something if I buy it brand new again.
You really think so? You think do you think game posters of any kind are going to be worth something?
Well, the Halo 3 poster I have right now is the iconic Master Chief holding his rifle while looking up in the sky and shit like that. You don't see that on that cheap ass one that came with the game case of Halo 3.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
was saying it's
So
showing to you, but I have no light. There's no light in my room other than this shine on to me. So.
anyway, the CMOS battery problem has been fixed for PlayStation 4. Maybe they'll do something for PlayStation 3. If not, like I said, they shut down the online store last month, at the end of last month. And even if I lose the ability to play digital games, I'm going to lose the ability to play like a couple games.
That's good for now. Okay.
The rest are physical.
But imagine this generation or the current gen, specifically of PS1, Xbox One, PS5, Xbox Series S and X, PS4, those generations and beyond, they're all going to be digital. Sooner or later, it's going to be all digital. And right now, it's digital.
They got the all digital consoles for cheaper. If I get like the Xbox Series X, though, if I get the Xbox Series console, I'm getting the Series X. Screw the Series S. I want something that I could play physical. I want something that could play physical and digital.
With more power, especially. Was it 14 teraflops? That's a lot right there.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know when I'll be able to afford the Series X, but also there's really not too many games I would get for it anyway.
Right.
Because we're still in that transition period of anything that comes out for that is still coming out on last gen anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Next story. Apple cloths are being scalped for between $40 to $65. People are buying cloths. This came with my keyboard, but I'll use it. People are buying cloths like this for $40 to $65.
Cloths or what?
Cloths to wipe down like your game system or something.
What, are they from a brand name or something we don't know about yet? It's starting to become popular.
It's Apple. It's got the Apple logo on it, but you can get these same kind of generic cloths for like $5 or $10 at your local store. But for some reason, people are buying these cloths on eBay for 4 to 6 times that price.
Like $1,000 per cloth.
Yeah, not 1,000, but like $40 to $65 when they normally cost 5 to 10 at your local store.
Is it made of gold silk?
No, it's just got the Apple logo on it.
I mean, I gotta say, if it's made of gold silk, now that I will definitely buy that easily for $250.
No, it's made of the same material. It's just got the Apple logo, but for some reason, people are selling it, and I don't know if anyone's actually bought it. Let me check.
Like 100 watchers on one listing.
Let me check to see if anyone's actually purchased it on eBay. But I mean, if there's something that can be scalped, it's like to wipe down your phone or like any electronics. And people are. I don't have it. Okay, that's not what I was talking about. So I didn't see it. But if you could get something to wipe down your phone or like your computer monitor for $5 to $10, why are you gonna spend $40 to $65 on eBay? I just hope I don't know what to like search for on eBay to pull it up, but I hope no one's falling for that.
You type in Apple cloth.
I did, and like watches came up and stuff.
That's it? Okay, that's weird.
Watches and like some polka dot thing. It's like that's not what I was trying to find.
It must be started today, I'm assuming, right?
No, the story came out. It's been a couple days, maybe, but you know what? eBay might have removed the listing.
Oh yeah, that can happen too. Censorship.
Because just because you buy something from like Key Food doesn't mean you can sell it yourself.
Yes. You can't buy like a sandwich from there for like $10 and expect to sell for that same sandwich for $15 within its expiration date. I'm like, hey man, you want a sandwich from my armpit? Got one for you.
Yeah, so maybe eBay removed them. I just didn't see it. I just did a quick look. Um, yeah, but you know, scalpers, if they can make a buck, they will.
Yeah, scalpers were on since the day of when business started, and before the internet, before any digital computer, any of that sort, it was all nothing but word of mouth most of the time. Now with the internet, it's instant gratification, instant transaction. Just pay with cryptocurrency, especially with no traceable traces of the cryptocurrency at times. You can do this online if somehow some way, but in the end, if it's digital, if it's on the internet all the time, it's always going to be some sort of trace available just to find that scalper that sold it to you. Because if the scalper left like the United States or goodness forbid got rid of his listed on eBay after giving it to you, you can track him down somehow, some way.
Not really. They could leave the country or be in the Cayman Islands.
That's what I said. Yeah, that's what I said. If they leave the country, you can find some way to track this stuff. But first thing first, you have to know your knowledge of cryptocurrency security. So.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. People are having trouble ordering PlayStation 5 on Walmart.com. Walmart was getting more PlayStation 5s in stock. People signed on. They'd hit the order page, to order, place their order.
Yes.
They'd wait a minute or two while seeing that circular icon on their screen. Next thing they know they're at their home, at the Walmart homepage, and they're like, "Did my order go through?" And so many people were getting booted out of their queue after waiting for their spot to come up. And it's just we heard this with GameStop, canceling pre-orders 2 weeks ago. Now Walmart can't handle it. Now people, try. I don't know if Walmart crashed or came close to crashing, but people were in the queue trying to order the new PS5s that came in stock, and basically that was a shit show. What is it with these companies that have been around for years that they have so much trouble making sales of consoles go through like they should?
Yeah.
You got GameStop canceling pre-orders that just came in earlier the same day. Now people were getting booted out of their queue at when they thought they placed their order at Walmart. They didn't want to order, go back in and possibly pay for the same thing twice. But also people waited an hour for their spot to come up. And then they're not even sure if they got it when they tried to place their order.
Well, usually, anytime we go on online shopping, I think everyone who's watching this should know by now, anytime when you press that checkout button, put your shipping information, your credit card information, your driver's license, if they need an ID for drinking, whatever, and then after that, press the place order, you're guaranteed by law that you're going to get that product in the mail or somehow digitally in the next several minutes to several days.
Not several minutes, but
if it's email, that is, if you email.
Oh, the email, okay.
If they email you a digital copy code for Alien vs. Predator.
A digital receipt, basically.
Something like that. I have those receipts as well, digital receipts.
Yeah. I save them all the time when I order online myself. But the thing is, when you hit place order, instead of getting what happened was, instead of getting the page that said your order has been placed, they would just end up on Walmart's home screen.
That's strange.
Yeah, and it's just okay, well, I hit place order, did I get it? And some people are unclear of whether or not their orders actually went through.
And Walmart should have no problems with their website. They have billions of dollars, not literally reserved for the website, but at least a few tens of thousands to millions of dollars to maintain a website with ease. They have to have ITs, technicians, and engineers, and developers even have to. for their website and all, and also to maintain the servers, maintain the power of those servers. So it's like there should be no problems maintaining a consistency in what you place on their websites. Sure, the internet is not a centralized unit where it's like everything is in one area in like one device of the entire world. No, it's not like that. China did it, but that's a different story of its own. But here in the United States and other parts of different worlds, United Kingdom, Germany, France, they're all like screens of other screens. So there should be no problems with the inconsistency of the matter. This is what I learned over the years of what I order online and also study about tech. These books I got from my DeVry courses. I was at DeVry back in 2016 to study computer programming. And in the books that I ordered, I still try to glance at them every now and every few months or years. Be like, okay, what's going on with the data security or with the cyber security of the matter? So this is what I learned from Walmart's fiasco.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like I said, we heard it from GameStop. Now Walmart's. What's gonna what are we gonna hear from something about Target or Best Buy in the next 2 weeks?
Perhaps even games stores like EB Games is pretty much like GameStop, but game store, even independent stores. I don't know which ones are doing online transactions, but independent stores can do that too at times. I bet. If they do it digitally.
Yeah, but the independent stores, if they have their own website, you would expect them because that's like a mom and pop operation, not a corporation that's been around for years.
And with billions of dollars in their pocket, millions in reserves easily. But there's this game store somewhere in southwestern United States or southeastern United States called themselves Stone Age Gamers, as and Review Tech USA sponsored that website many years ago, so I still memorize them. I always want to order their old school games, their old school devices and all, and their website as of like 3 years ago, last time I checked, still works like very well. So imagine with this fiasco with Walmart, GameStop, then Best Buy, then Walgreens, you name it, whoever owns and sells these video game or systems, things like that matter.
Yeah, so I mean, just get your stuff together.
Yes.
Anyway, Bungie removes content and then places new content behind expensive editions. What they, I forgot. Let me look up what game. But what happened is there was content in a game. This is kind of like Madden 21 all over again.
Yeah.
Bungie removed content, and then they said, hey, if you want this new content that replaces the old content, you have to buy the new edition.
For what game?
I think it was Destiny 2, if I'm not mistaken. I want to be sure.
They did that because back in last year or two, at least a year and 2.5 years now, back then there was the original Destiny 2 game where you are this rogue agent go up against some sort of warlike faction, and it was a all-out war on that moon planet, the hovering planet over the Earth and shit. No, all of a sudden they got rid of that segment back at least a year and a half, 2 years ago, and since then they just changed everything around and made it free to play. And I'm like, I don't want free to play. I want to play that specific segment because that's the sequel to the first Destiny. The first Destiny was so bad at storytelling that I couldn't tell who's what, where, why, and how. I was like, okay, I'm playing as some guy in Russia and on Earth who found out that the darkness is coming, and I was like, that's it. I mean, that's just the story. So Destiny considered to be an epic but boring story at the same time. So
yeah, it was Destiny. But the thing is, we talked about this when Darkness the Curse joined us about Madden 21 having connected franchise mode and then removing it just like that, no warning, and it was part of the game. Maybe one of the reasons people purchased the newest Madden, and now more game companies are doing it. If you want to add something to the game, great. If you want to place it, as DLC, fine. But don't remove the old content. You know, I mean, what about people who haven't played the game yet, or may come across it later?
Or
They're
the
never going to
ones,
experience it, and they're not going to have the new content either, if they don't have a special edition fall into their lap.
or the ones that paid $65 or the $120 copy of Destiny 2 back in
Right.
2017. You gotta like get rid of that content for them to replace with new content. That don't make any sense. Then you might as well give them a refund,
Yeah.
and they made it free to play anyway. So give every previous player that paid for it a refund. Simple as that.
Yeah, so it's just an unpopular move, and I don't know, maybe they want to be the bad guys. I just don't see any defense for something like this.
Yeah, those players, those Destiny hardcore players, like, but Triple J and Dr. Games, we want them to change it because it makes the story interesting. You must expect that, Triple J and Dr. Games. Don't you accept it?
Yeah, so
I'm sorry,
oh,
I had to put that out there.
Destiny is again a game I'll never touch, and you said Epic Games is responsible for Destiny, right?
Epic Games? I thought it was EA Games or
Oh,
Activision.
I thought you just said
Activision.
Epic right now.
Oh no, Activision.
Oh, okay.
Last time I checked was Activision, right? For Destiny
Okay,
1.
well, Activision, they got their own legal battles going on, so.
Yeah. And Bungie at one point, Bungie has their say in this matter too, I bet. Which obviously that's what happened with Bungie, like you said, so.
Okay, so Destiny is one game that I didn't know what it was about to be interested in, but now I know I'm not going to touch it.
It lacked a story, but you know it's about the darkness, and it comes after a while, every now and then with the darkness. But that's just a foretelling story of what happens to people in real life of a man versus himself ish situation where just the light and the dark, good, bad, evil, and not so evil, you know.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot. We love people who take away content that was paid for.
Yes.
And the last story I have for tonight: Epic Games takes away vacation employees' Fridays off. What happened is this company, Epic Games, right? Yep. All the employees would get every other Friday off.
Right.
Now those Fridays that every employee would get are no longer. Now they got to work a 5-day week every week.
What's the big deal?
Huh?
What's the big deal about that?
Well, just that it used to be something people could rely on, if they were burned out or whatever.
Okay.
And now
also, it's
that
business day too for anything else you gotta do outside of work. So.
So I mean, it's kind of like Sloman. It's kind of like when I worked at Sloman's. I didn't find out until like right before I left. We would get pizza every Friday night at break time. They would actually have a pizza delivery man come in with like 15 pizzas, and the telemarketing division could get the pizza for free and eat it during a 20-minute break. And the thing is, I didn't know, the executives said they wanted that for the telemarketing staff. I thought managers, were going to nix it eventually, and one of my friends said, no, they can't. The executives upstairs said they want this for their telemarketers. So it's kind of like if Sloman's had taken those pizzas away. Of course, everyone's telemarketing job disappeared 10 months after I got fired, but that's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think of this Epic Games suddenly saying, "Hey, I know you used to have 3-day weekends every other week, but no, now you gotta be here and work."
Well, I mean, when it comes to working for any employer, your time is your very valuable essence to the company, no matter how big or small it is. Like when I was working for Subway sandwiches for one owner back in 2006 for about 4 or 5, 6 months, my time was working at least 60 hours a week with this particular employer.
Yeah.
So my time was very ate up even on Fridays. Like, I don't have time on Fridays to relax as much. I had to work Saturday or not Saturday. I had to have a Saturday off, but I still had to work Friday throughout the entire day, plus go to school. So, in other words, things happen.
Yeah, not to mention, Epic Games. I bet it's not a 9 to 5 job. I bet they probably have a lot of people who work more than 40 hours a week, whether or not they're getting overtime. So I bet the Friday off was something needed. You work Monday through Thursday, Monday through Friday, or Monday through Friday, then Monday through Thursday. Who knows how many hours? Maybe 10, 12 hours, and then that Friday you just needed it just to rest and recuperate.
And to go food shopping where they're the best deals for buying food, or buy clothes at the local clothes store for the best service. Because when I was working for fast food again, I didn't have the opportunity to do so many things for like laundry or other errands, along with buying and doing other business outside of my employer time with the time of the original employer. So it really does suck for those Epic Games workers to just to have not to have Fridays off and have to work that Friday. But hey, I'm lucky to work 5 days a week if I was working for Epic Games. If you give me like 5 days a week, 8 to 12 hours a day, weekends off, holidays off, even vacation time, 401k benefits, dental insurance, health insurance, you name it, I would work for Epic Games for that matter under those conditions. But if these guys, these workers, are ungrateful with the matter, they can move someplace else for the matter and see if they can find something better. But there's nothing. In the end, no matter how many jobs you pass by, like go from job to job, it's always going to be something different from the other jobs. Nothing better, nothing worse. It's a hit and miss.
Yeah, I'm looking up reviews for working Epic Games. I'm not finding an actual schedule. Someone said long hours and rude management sometimes.
Now I know that my Subway experience is fast food, of course, but
Right.
it's still the same type of dynamic of work and time and money and time involved. It's the same concept, pretty much. So.
Well, like I said, this is about Epic Games, people who work at Epic Games.
Of course.
Um,
My managers, or owners, I should say, they can be assholes sometimes. Not every one of them. I have one particular owner that was better, at least at the time that is, was a very good owner. And since then, you know, it's just that things haven't changed much for myself with my working experience. But at the same time, the last job I worked at for any full-time matter, or at least with benefits, was with Macy's back in 2018. Now, that was a good job to have if I lost the weight, if I went through the surgery, whatever. But, I didn't want to go through that until I'm 40. I have to be more in person with you guys because, I have a weight problem since 2015, 2016. That's started to get worse. And that's what happens when after a while you gain weight from stress, you gain weight from medications you take, your body breaks down from all the work you do. It happens.
yeah, that's why, like, when you do like stuff like warehouse work, you should do it when you're like in your 20s because if you, but even if you do it in your 20s, you still, even if you do get hurt, you're gonna feel it when you get older.
Yes.
Keep in mind, I have a pinched nerve in my back from my own stupidity.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't bother me in my 20s. But it started bothering me a lot in my late 20s, early 30s.
I try to tell these Xbox gamers, even though they're like 17, 18, up till 22 years old, that I've been playing with for how many years, like, you guys gotta get out there and work your ass off, so that way when you get older, when you get sicker in life, at least you have money in your pocket. You may not be rich, but you're not gonna be homeless. So.
Right. Yeah. So I was looking up reviews from employees at Epic Games. I couldn't find anything about work hours. They did say sometimes they had long work days. and sometimes they didn't feel they didn't feel appreciated for the time they put in.
Right.
Someone also said there's not much to work on other than Fortnite as of 2021. So
Fortnite's over. It's gotta die. It has to die right now for the next gen video games. We got the Metal Gear Solid 1 remake. We got GTA 6 coming out. Red Dead Redemption is rumored to be either another sequel to the matter. Because let's face it. Because I know that sounds weird to me to say that out loud, but I guarantee they have to make Red Dead Redemption 3 sometime within the next 5 to 10 years.
Maybe next 5-10, because Red Dead Redemption 2 came out like 2018.
Yeah, 2019, 2018, yeah.
And then, before that, they had the original Red Dead Redemption. They had the expansion, which was later released on its own, Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare.
The second game, if I recall correctly, was a prequel. So they have to make a sequel to the original Red Dead Redemption to make it Red Dead Redemption.
I don't want to spoil the ending of the original Red Dead Redemption for anyone who hasn't played it yet. But where were you going to, once you got to the end of Red Dead Redemption, where were you going to go with that?
I don't know. I never played Red Dead Redemption, the first one.
Okay, we'll talk about that later when we sign off tonight, because really that's all the news stories I have over the last couple of weeks. Is there any news you want to bring up that we haven't talked about yet?
Not really exactly. Although I got today's issue of Game Informer magazine this week, and it's the Saints Row reboots. Now, here's the fucked up. Dude, there's this meme out there with Saints Row. You know those Disney TV shows that show the cast of in every series and all, folding their hands, acting all pretty for the camera. They're in their 10, 15, 16 years old and shit. Well, they actually did that with one of their those TV shows and called it Saints Row at the title, because that's how it appeals to the actual audience. It's to the kids. Like, what is that about? I read the it's gonna come out sometime early 2022. This fucked up remake or reboot, whatever to call it. It just didn't make any sense. It looks too childish by the looks of things. You got this lesbian somewhere from Batwoman. She looks like from Batwoman. This chick on here. You know what she has in her hand? Her other hand? A handgun. You see that shit? What's that about?
Show the back cover to the camera. Hold.
Hey, here's a guy holding a Big Mac and fries. If you can see it properly. Oh, I got Clark on the right address.
Okay.
Yes. He has a Big Mac and fries and shit.
I remember in the original, in the other Saints Row games, like Saints Row 4, you could dress up like hot dogs and stuff, so...
But it looks too childish at first. It just doesn't look like Saints Row. I played the first Saints Row with, I know again, Kevin, because he had Saints Row at the time, and,
I actually have the first two Saints Row games with me right now.
Okay, that's good.
I played,
I also had Saints Row 3 for the free-to-play game. Not free-to-play, games with gold. But I never got a chance to play it yet, after all these years, so...
let's talk about Saints Row Reboot right now, because that's a franchise I know very well, before we end things for tonight. I'm looking at screenshots now. Some of them look like it's
childish.
Yeah, the color scheme, it looks absolutely ridiculous. I mean, people thought Saints Row 4 was ridiculous. I could at least appreciate Saints Row 4 still told a good story. But this just looks...
It's for kids.
It's like they said, we need more purple and pinks and yellows and oranges.
And if you saw the trailer, the original trailer looked like something out of something like one of those Rango, the movie for Nickelodeon from like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I'll look up the trailer afterwards.
It was that equivalency of that color scheme or the quality of the matter. It appeals towards kids.
I got the trailer ready to go. I'll watch it when we sign off. But I mean, Saints Row was kind of dead to begin with, because after Saints Row, Gat Out of Hell, which was the sequel to 4, they tried Agents of Mayhem, which came out in the beginning of the Xbox One life cycle. That did not have the same appeal as Saints Row did.
Nope, it did not.
But why would they reboot it and go an SJW way?
Or even
I see a woman with a short haircut. Is that supposed to be the new Shanti? I mean,
or the new Disney style like TV shows.
Yeah, so
like Raven. That's so Raven. Then there's also that superhero kid and shit. That type of stuff.
Yeah, so I'll watch the trailer when we sign off. But why do you have to ruin Saints Row? Why couldn't you just let it rest in peace? If this is what you're gonna do with it.
They ruined Star Wars. They ruined Ghostbusters. They ruined Batwoman, aka Batgirl, what I call it. Well, Batwoman is pretty much the 1990s anime series at the time. Batgirl, whatever. But there was Catwoman at the time. They didn't ruin Catwoman. Catwoman has been touched, because Catwoman, at least it was all right. It was all right. Standalone movie back with Halle Berry as the actor of Catwoman. She did a good job with that matter. But the other stuff,
it's just everything else about the movie was ridiculous.
Yeah, but now the recent stuff, they just ruined one franchise, one series after another. You know.
Yeah. So anyway, on that depressing note of Saints Row possibly being ruined.
Yes.
This is the end of the Let's Discuss Gaming podcast. Unless there's anything else you want to cover.
That'll be all.
Okay. So join us. Our next podcast will be on November 20th, Saturday, November 20th at 9 p.m. Eastern. Join us on Twitch. Follow me on Twitch, because I'm trying to stream every night. I've been successful this week. Also, in the About section, subscribe to my BitChute channel, because I do Let's Plays on there that aren't on Twitch. Also, my price charting store, there's a link if you want to buy old and new video games. I got games from NES all the way to Xbox One, and Xbox One /PS4 for sale. So if you have some money and some to spend on video games, why not look what I have? I have a huge selection. And hopefully I'll see you on my next stream, and we'll see you in 2 weeks for the next podcast. Until then, good night, everyone.
Goodbye.